Dicado, Senior National Program Officer of UNESCO and GIEP, Nandini Chatterjee, and their moderator, independent game developer, Rami Ismail. They will offer perspective on the international themes using digital immersive tools to visualize traumatic past and raise awareness of descent-based slavery. So we can begin.
Let me just get that going for you. Thank you. You should do it.
Good. Okay, so my name is Max. I founded Geo Interactive about 4 years ago now, in 2019. That's us, that's the team. So we make African story-driven games, and we hope to be the hub for creating and playing sports within the continent of Africa. We have 3 arms. We have a studio, we have a platform that distributes early-stage games, and we also have an esports unit as well. I think we now have 500 developers, 100 games on the platform, and about 2,500 esports players within the community. So we have our gaming against slavery project, and the whole goal is just to highlight and bring awareness to descendant-based slavery that's going on in Mali, which is in West Africa at the moment. And we worked with SOAS, with Dr. Marie, who's here in the audience, CASAT, Care of Productions, UKRI, which is the funding body that has funded us, and also Donkosira, which is an NGO down in Mali that helped with the co-creation with the communities to be able to design and bring the game alive using their experiences and research from the ground coming up. Here's a trailer for the game, which will be coming out in September. The game is called Musau, which means equity in Swahili. And the whole concept of the game is that it highlights actual stories and experiences from the ground around slavery. And these are some of the other games that we're doing in our studio. Thank you.
When we discuss it in these contexts around the world, a lot of more softer skills come up, a lot of global citizenship, entrepreneurship. I hear a little bit of entrepreneurship in there. I hear sort of like the playing together, as sort of playfulness, as sort of a cultural glue or binding. I find that fascinating that there's so much more of a priority around the world. I actually wanted to kind of like dig at that, because I think that's an interesting thread to sort of go at.
So particularly for the games, like gaming against slavery, it's important to know that some of these topics are not really talked about or are taboo to speak about, right? So it's important for us to be able to take these stories and experiences and turn them into games that people can interact with, so we can start those conversations that need to be started. And that's on one hand. On the other hand, particularly what my colleague mentioned, I think, what was you had mentioned something to do with decision technology? Yes. Yeah. It's important, perfect. It's important for us because being able to tell our stories of what we want to tell. A lot of times we have a lot of African stories that are taken from Africa but told outside or created by someone outside. So democratizing it allows us to create those games, create those stories, and tell
move away move away from the prejudice, right, and the stereotypes. Right? The four of us, or the five of us, have been like under some prejudice or something.
The process we took, just co-designing with the community, co-producing with them, to bring out the experiences, because it's important to hear our story in our own voice, kind of thing. Because it's different. If I told you my story and you told everyone, you're going to miss some nuances within my story. Right? So it's going to be a game of broken telephone. So it's important for me to be able to tell my story in my own voice. And the other thing is tied to language. Our game, we're translating it into 5 different languages, local languages, Swahili, which is one of the bigger ones, and English and French as well.
That's really cool. Let me just look at the organization real quick, what we've heard here. I would love to sort of hear your hopes for playfulness, for games, for the place of games, not just in your country, but also in the region at large, and just for the world. I think that will fill up 5 minutes if each of us answers that question.
I think, so, interesting. So Africa has the largest, youngest block of people anywhere in the world, but 90% of games that are in Africa don't come from Africa. Right? So this idea of creating an emotional connection through the game to drive learning is connecting them to an experience that they don't know. Right? So this idea of democratizing how we create games and how we tell these stories is, I think, super important. And for us at GWA, providing this platform is just wonderful thing.
What are your hopes for GWA in the next few years?
To be able to be a platform where these developers can also learn. Right now, it's purely community driven. So each developer gives feedback to each other's work, but being able to buy each other coffee for good work, I think that's kind of what we're trying to focus on. Be able to tap into the brilliance within the game industry,
right,
and bring it to the content.
Amazing, wonderful.
So my hope